other words, that woman wants you to take Shuhu and jump straight into the Voracity and leave the rest to the Eon's stomach acid? And this is between me and him, right? Why are you tagging along?
Relax. I'll say my goodbyes and be gone. A dignified funeral, If you ask me, this ending is indeed grand enough.
I don't care about any of that. There's only one thing I care about. Does he have to die?
Here's a piece of advice, little cub. Whether he lives or dies is his choice. That's the one thing you don't get to decide for him.
It has landed.
What?
Nothing. Just a seabird landing on the rocks. A blade forged of mortal steel cannot sever an undying fate. If Shuhu is to be put down, the options are few. And that Leviathan is one of them.
In time, people will say this. The culprit of the Juming gave his life for the greater good and plunged into the abyss alongside the abomination.
I'm not as noble as you make it sound. Many years ago, you invited me to join the Galaxy Rangers. I refused for one reason. I'm a petty man. I was never born to carry some greater good. This is between Shuhu and me. Nothing more.
Can't argue with that. A Galaxy Ranger through and through. Well then, I won't say anything more.
Blade, you sure about this?
For years, death has clung to me like a curse, etched into my bones. If there is a chance to make a god feel the same pain, I would do it, even if this body is reduced to ash. As for everyone else, there's no need to drag them into this. We'll proceed as Yao Guang proposed. Bury Shuhu at the end of the world in canvas, taking me with him, and let the Voracity dissolve us both.
Take care.
How about you stay as well? You might as well see it through to the end with us.
Plain Arcadia has bigger problems that need my attention. Your instincts were right. That meanie pulling strings from the shadows is none other than a Sat Pramod.
Who else would want to kick a Ha's head like a ball?
So, I need to get back and finish my job.
Investigating a Lord Ravager sounds like a job you don't come back from.
Therefore, it also pays very well.
Then here's hoping you live long enough to collect your payment. Every time, when it's just the two of us, you go quiet.
You know what I'm going to say. The seabird's flown off. It's time for us to go too.
terror slumbering at the heart of plain Arcadia is Ouroboros.
After the swarm disaster, the Voracity vanished, never to appear again for more than 700 Amber eras. Their last rumored sighting was 500 years ago.
History fictionologists claim that Ouroboros lies in wait at the edge of the cosmos, guarded by their children, awaiting the day of their return.
I've heard that story before, but it wasn't about the edge of the cosmos. It was Pier Point. They say that the preservation is nothing more than a facade, and the IPC is, in truth, a cult devoted to the Voracity.
Organic life has quite the imagination. They've said other things, too. That Louis Fleming seeks to ascend as the Eon of Wealth. That the Council of Mundanites are mere hounds of Dr. Primitive. That the Marketing Development Department colludes with the destruction, turning a blind eye to the spread of Stellarons. Such rumors are endless. I believe the General should be able to tell which are true and which are not.
I've never heard the last one, so let's assume it's the only one that's true. Such terrible breath. Once this Leviathan awakens, the Arcadia's destruction would be all but instantaneous.
For now, this remains conjecture. The sealed remains appear to be a husk that Ouroboros once shed. Why it's here, and how it's connected to the elation, remain unknown. Yet even a fragmented remnant of an Eon is a threat that can't be ignored. The calamity of the Leviathan must not be allowed to re-emerge in this world.
Naturally, that is why I'm here. And it's about time for the two Nameless to arrive. Oh, you're just on time.
General Yao Guang, as instructed, warding talismans have been placed at over a dozen sites across plain Arcadia.
My thanks. It was Mr. Yang's talent of creation out of nothing that allowed us to reproduce dozens of plumes and complete the deployment with such speed. Now, with yin and yang aligned, and all four aspects in place, as long as we set up the last formation core, the Decalite reflection barrier will be complete.
Using the divine eye of the Spiritus to weave a giant web, one that ensnares countless possible futures. General, have you truly made up your mind?
Though Shuhu has been eradicated, the signs of doom have not faded. On the contrary, they grow ever clearer. After much consideration, the source can only be this restless corpse.
One crisis is yet to pass, and another is already upon us. The Arcadia's ley lines were already riddled with scars, and now even the ancient tree's seal is starting to loosen. While Evanesia is asleep, someone must take up her duty to guard this place.
But defending isn't the way of the hunt. If you don't want to become the prey, you must become the hunter.
General, do you intend to go on the offensive and suppress the remains of the Voracity?
How could I? The Joy Seeker could barely confine that husk using the Abundance's ambrosial arbor as its cage. I'm not that arrogant as to place myself alongside the gods. I'm not here to guard against an Eon, but against a lesser menace. Lord Ravager Asat Pramod. This barrier is prepared for him.
Asat Pramod has been meddling with the game from the shadows. His intentions unclear. We know little about him or the Voracity. By chance, however, a friendly citizen has provided us with intel.
Ouroboros' remains are in Ahatopia, aren't they? Silence is an answer in itself. I've seen that reaction too many times.
I'm not surprised that you were the first to discover it. You were in the Torn Scroll too. The probability of you noticing was 24%.
That's a little low, don't you think? I'd put it at well over 90.
What I don't understand is this. There were countless ways to verify your hypothesis, yet you chose the most unconventional one. You bypassed security and broke into the building to confront me in person. What is your objective?
This is no confrontation. It's a warning, Madam Pearl. I'm a security officer, and there is only one reason I'm here. While everyone else is fixated on the Phantasmoon games, only the Department of Aberration Defense is watching other places.
Like the location where the new Herald of Death case was closed?
Correct. The incident involved 4 Daybreak warriors, 3 nameless, 1 detective, and 1 officer. But just moments ago, a 10th set of footprints appeared at the scene.
After the investigation, we learned that the traces were left deliberately. A blatant provocation.
The Lord Ravager bent on destroying the Elation came uninvited. Make no mistake. Planar Arcadia is a stage he chose with care, and drawing the Abundance into the fray was hardly a win.
Our top priority is to dispose of Shuhu's flesh properly to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands and causing another calamity.
That said, we cannot afford to ignore Asat Pramad's next move.
This giant web is prepared for that very purpose. Once the entire planet is folded into the divination's trajectory, under the gaze of the Omnitia, all possibilities will be laid bare. When that time comes, he won't wish to leave any footprints behind.
One final question. Why did the Lord Ravager choose to visit this place? Does he have an ulterior motive? Or is this merely some twisted joke?
That question should be left to the professionals. Don't forget, we have a detective who can't seem to rest. Let's hope the accumulation of variables can tip the scales in our favor.
And so the people set out, and the gondola, bound for distant lands, set sail. At the end of the world, the Elation once again declared war upon the Voracity. Frail little humans! Ouroboros split their mouth wide open. Whoever can fill my whole mouth with but a single thing shall receive a reward. My tongue. The fool known as the Shepherd captured a comet, but it wasn't even enough to fill the gap between the Voracity's teeth. The bartender Braji opened the wine cellar, yet they only grew drowsy, drifting off to sleep. And en route, he crept up to the Voracity's ear and told them a corny joke. The Voracity pondered it for 10 amber eras, then burst into laughter at their own amusement. En route spread his hands and said, "See, I filled your mouth with laughter."
Then what happened?
Then the Voracity said, "Are you kidding me?" And with that, they opened their gaping maw and tore en route to pieces.
What kind of nonsense is that?
Those are the facts, my inquisitive auditor. If you want to hear more stories, you're welcome to discuss with your classmates.
We came here to investigate the Voracity and Asat Pramod, but all we got were stories that only a 3-year-old would believe.
Rumors don't just appear out of thin air. It's just a matter of how much truth you think they hold.
At least 90% of that was made up.
Sometimes that last 10% is all you need. Oh, plenty of bystanders around. Let's hear what they have to... Say,